Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've ever felt like no matter how hard you try, she just doesn't notice you, or worse, she loses interest fast, then you're about to hear truths most men will never be told. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and like this video because what I'm about to reveal will change the way women see you forever. Here's the truth most men fail to understand. Attraction isn't about how much you talk, how funny you are, or even how impressive your life looks online. Real attraction is driven by something deeper, something invisible, something most men can't see but women sense immediately. And here's the kicker. Women are drawn to men who have mastered a certain understanding of their own mind and emotions, a mastery so subtle that it almost feels like magic. Think about it. How often have you noticed a woman's eyes light up when a man says very little, yet somehow she's drawn to him like a magnet? That isn't chance, that isn't luck. It's strategy, yes, but more than that, it's psychology. Women are wired to notice certain signals, often before they even understand why. And most men are completely blind to this. One of the first secrets women subconsciously look for is confidence that doesn't need validation. Not arrogance, not "I'm better than you," but quiet, unshakable self-assurance. Women are not attracted to men who try to impress. They are magnetized by men who know their worth, who live by their principles, and who don't bend their energy to chase approval. There's a certain glow to that, a presence that's impossible to ignore. Another secret, emotional resilience. Women notice who collapses under pressure and who can handle life with composure. But it's subtle. It's not about being stoic 24/7. It's about holding yourself with dignity, even when things are messy. This signals to her that you're someone who can protect, provide, and emotionally anchor her without smothering her freedom. And right now, I want you to ask yourself, how many of these traits do you truly own? Because as we go deeper, I'm going to reveal 5 hidden triggers that make women fall for a man almost unconsciously. These are not cliches. They are truths hidden in the psychology of attraction, secrets that separate the men she notices from the men she forgets. If you think you've been unlucky in love, it's not luck. It's missing knowledge. And once you understand these 5 secrets, your presence in any woman's mind will shift silently, powerfully, irreversibly. Most men make the critical mistake of thinking attraction is about effort, gifts, compliments, long conversations, trying to win her over. That's naive. The truth is, the women who are worth your time don't fall for effort. They fall for subtle mastery, the kind of mastery that whispers confidence without shouting it, that draws attention without demanding it. And the first secret you need to understand is the power of selective presence. Women are wired to notice men who are present in their lives, not in a desperate or needy way, but in a way that feels magnetic. This means you don't cling to her every message. You don't chase after her validation. You exist in your own world, fully alive, fully engaged in your life. And when you do show up, it's meaningful. She will feel it, she will notice it, and she will be drawn to it. Most men have no idea that scarcity combined with value creates a pull stronger than any compliment or flirtation. The second secret is emotional intelligence that isn't obvious. I'm talking about the subtle awareness of how she feels, how she reacts, and what makes her feel seen without you having to say it out loud. A woman can sense immediately if you truly understand her emotions, or if you're faking it. Men often mistake charm for intelligence, but women sense depth. They crave a man who can navigate emotional complexity without losing his own balance. A man who can stay calm, patient, and responsive, not reactive, creates a magnetic energy that's almost impossible to resist. Next, women are drawn to purpose-driven energy. They notice a man who wakes up every day with direction, not because he's trying to impress, but because his life has meaning. Purpose is like a low hum of power that vibrates through your presence. It's not about money, status, or how many likes you get. It's about integrity and consistency in your mission. A man who is quietly committed to growth, to his passions, to his vision, is almost neurologically irresistible. Now here's something most men completely misunderstand. Women also notice boundaries and self-respect. The way you handle your own limits, your time, your energy, these are invisible markers of attraction. A man who allows himself to be disrespected, overrun, or undervalued will never trigger desire. But a man who calmly and consistently enforces his boundaries creates a tension that pulls her in, even if she doesn't consciously understand why. Finally, there is the art of mystery, not deceit, not lies, but the ability to keep layers of yourself undiscovered, to let her curiosity grow, to allow her mind to wander and wonder. Women are drawn to men who are not fully readable. Men who reveal everything too quickly extinguish attraction. Desire thrives on anticipation, on subtle intrigue, on glimpses that leave her wanting more. These secrets are invisible to most men, but once mastered, they alter the way women perceive you on a fundamental level. You no longer have to chase. You become the man she notices, the man she remembers, the man she feels compelled to keep thinking about long after you've left the room. Now let's get to the part most men never understand. There are specific triggers in a man that make women obsessively notice him, almost without realizing why. And these aren't tricks or manipulation. They're rooted in psychology, in primal wiring that even the most self-aware woman can't fully control. Once you understand these, you stop competing for attention. You become the attention. The first trigger is confidence in silence. Women are deeply attracted to men who don't feel the need to fill every moment with words. It's not about being stoic or distant. It's about having inner stability that radiates without speaking. When a man listens more than he talks, when he responds deliberately instead of reacting, he signals an inner world that is strong, secure, and intriguing. Most men mistake constant talking for charm. Women read through that instantly. Silence paired with composure creates tension, and tension drives desire. Second, there is the power of controlled unpredictability. Women are naturally drawn to men who can surprise them, not with chaos, but with subtle unpredictability. A man who occasionally changes plans or does something unexpected yet thoughtful triggers curiosity and excitement. It's the same principle that keeps stories compelling. Predictability kills attraction. Women want to explore a man's mind, his energy, and his layers, and controlled unpredictability invites that exploration. Next, women are magnetized by purposeful vulnerability, but not oversharing or needy emotion. I'm talking about moments where a man allows just a glimpse of depth, a glimpse of struggle or passion. It shows authenticity, courage, and humanity. It's the balance between strength and openness. Women can sense when a man's vulnerability is performative versus authentic. Authenticity sparks connection and intrigue at a level most men will never see coming. Fourth, there's the subtle art of emotional anchoring. Women are drawn to men who make them feel safe, yet alive. A man who remains calm in the storm, who validates feelings without taking responsibility for them, becomes an anchor she unconsciously leans toward. Most men either collapse under emotional pressure or overcompensate to fix it. Neither creates attraction. The anchor is the invisible glue of desire, steady, consistent, and grounded. Finally, the most overlooked trigger is the aura of self-possession. This is different from arrogance. This is the magnetic sense that you are complete, that your life is full regardless of her presence. Women sense immediately when a man's happiness and worth depend on them, and they instinctively withdraw. But when you carry self-possession, when you are fulfilled, engaged, and in command of your world, women can't help but be drawn to that energy. These triggers operate below the level of conscious thought. She may not even understand why she's fascinated by you, but she feels it in every glance, every interaction. And the moment a man masters even a couple of these, he no longer chases. She chases. She thinks about him when he's gone. She wonders what he's doing, and she can't shake the pull. Now that you understand these triggers, it's time to translate them into behaviors that make you magnetic without ever trying too hard. This is where most men fail. They know the theory, but can't embody it. Women aren't attracted to concepts. They're attracted to presence, to energy, to the subtle signals that tell them, he is not like the others. The first behavior is mastering calm dominance. This doesn't mean controlling her or being aggressive. It means carrying yourself with quiet authority in every interaction. When she argues, when life throws curveballs, when emotions flare, Your steadiness communicates strength. A woman feels this deeply, even if she doesn't articulate it. Your calm under pressure signals that you can handle complexity, chaos, and conflict without losing yourself. That reliability is seductive. Next, cultivate active intrigue. Don't overshare your life. Don't over-explain your thoughts. Don't reveal all layers at once. Allow curiosity to grow. Drop hints, show glimpses, create space for her mind to wander. When a man is fully readable, the thrill disappears. Mystery is magnetic. It creates anticipation. It creates desire. And it's not about manipulation. It's about honoring your own boundaries while inviting her to explore who you really are. Another crucial behavior is responsive, not reactive communication. Most men respond emotionally, impulsively, or desperately, and women sense it immediately. The key is to observe, absorb, and respond with intentionality. Your words and energy should create stability, not chaos. When she senses that you are deliberate, measured, and aware, she subconsciously trusts you, and trust is the foundation of deep attraction. Then there's purpose-driven energy in action. Women aren't impressed by claims or boasts, they're captivated by visible proof. Engage in your passions, pursue goals, and live a life that excites you. Let her witness glimpses of your ambition and integrity without needing her approval. Purpose communicates that your life has structure, meaning, and value, a signal that you are a man who can provide stability, inspiration, and challenge all at once. Finally, understand the balance of accessibility and scarcity. You can be kind, attentive, and engaged without being over-available. Scarcity doesn't mean ignoring her. It means valuing yourself enough to maintain your own priorities. Women notice when a man has his own world, his own standards, and his own rhythm. That balance creates a magnetic tension that pulls her in without a word. When you embody these behaviors consistently, women begin to notice a shift. You no longer compete for attention. You naturally attract it. They start thinking about you when you're gone, questioning why they feel drawn, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, they begin to want your energy, your presence, your world. By now, you're starting to see the pattern. Attraction isn't about luck, looks, or empty charm. It's about subtle mastery of presence, emotion, and energy. And now, we're entering the final two secrets, the ones most men never even consider, but which women notice instantly. The first secret is magnetic detachment. This is not about being cold or uninterested. It's about holding your own emotional center so firmly that her moods, her opinions, or even her attention cannot destabilize you. A man who is anchored in himself, who feels complete without needing constant affirmation, exudes a pull that is almost primal. Women sense this immediately. It tells her, this man's life is full. He's not desperate. He's not available to anyone who doesn't match his energy. Detachment done correctly is magnetic. It's a quiet, commanding force that draws her in rather than pushes her away. The second secret is the art of psychological tension. This is subtle, almost invisible, but profoundly powerful. It's the tension created when she senses there's more to you than meets the eye, when she feels the possibility of discovery, connection, and challenge all at once. It's built through controlled unpredictability, purposeful vulnerability, and the slow reveal of your authentic self. Women are wired to chase energy that stimulates both excitement and security. Too much predictability, and she loses interest. Too much chaos, and she feels unsafe. The man who balances these extremes becomes unforgettable. When these two forces combine, detachment and tension, they create an almost magnetic attraction. She can't help but notice. She wonders about you when you're gone. She analyzes your behavior, your words, your actions. And this is when the real power emerges. A woman is no longer a fleeting encounter. She's emotionally invested in discovering the layers of a man who embodies these secrets. Most men never get here because they chase validation. They overshare or they overcompensate. They misread attention as attraction. But the men who understand these truths, who integrate confidence, resilience, mystery, purpose, emotional intelligence, boundaries, and these final two secrets become irresistible without trying. Women notice, women think, women wonder, and the moment she begins to wonder, she begins to care. At this point, you have to reflect honestly. Are you showing up in a way that naturally triggers these responses? Or are you still doing what most men do, reacting, chasing, hoping she notices your effort instead of your presence? The difference between being unforgettable and being forgettable is subtle, but the consequences are massive. Master these truths, and you no longer compete for attention. You command it. And women respond, not to words, not to flattery, but to your energy, your presence, and the invisible mastery of yourself. Now, let's bring this full circle. You've learned the 5 hidden secrets, the triggers, and the behaviors that make a man unforgettable to women. But understanding them isn't enough. You have to embody them. Presence without action is invisible. Knowledge without integration is useless. The men who succeed aren't the smartest or the richest. They are the ones who consistently live by these principles, who carry themselves with quiet mastery every day. The first step is internal alignment. Are your actions, words, and energy aligned with who you truly are? Women notice inconsistency immediately. It's like a flicker in your aura they can't ignore. When your inner world is strong, when your confidence, purpose, and emotional balance are genuine, your outer world reflects it. You don't need gimmicks or pickup lines. You don't need to chase. Your energy alone begins to draw attention, curiosity, and desire. Next, embrace subtle tension in all interactions. Attraction thrives in tension, the delicate balance between availability and mystery, strength and vulnerability, certainty and unpredictability. Most men overshare too soon or show weakness in ways that push women away. The men women notice are skilled at giving glimpses, maintaining intrigue, and allowing her mind to wander. Curiosity is the heartbeat of desire, and you become the pulse she can't stop thinking about. Then, practice magnetic detachment. This isn't emotional distance, it's self-possession. It's knowing that your value, your happiness, and your direction do not depend on her reaction. She senses immediately when a man's energy is anchored in himself. That anchoring creates longing, fascination, and respect, all the foundations of deep, lasting attraction. Women instinctively chase the man whose life they cannot control, who exists fully outside their validation. Finally, integrate purpose-driven action. Pursue your goals, cultivate your passions, live intentionally. Women are drawn to men who are fully engaged in their own lives, not because of status or show, but because their energy signals value, integrity, and growth. This combination of grounded presence, subtle tension, and visible purpose creates a man who cannot be ignored. A man who becomes the standard she measures others against. Here's the ultimate truth. Once you embody these secrets, you no longer have to worry about being noticed. Attraction becomes a natural consequence of your presence. She thinks about you when you're not there. She feels drawn even without understanding why. And most importantly, you step into a version of yourself that commands respect, desire, and attention, not through effort, but through mastery of your own energy, mind, and life. This is the transformation most men never experience because they chase, they over-explain, they hope. You now have the knowledge to break free from that cycle. Start living it today and watch the dynamic shift, not just with women, but with how the world responds to the man you've become.